And when I say people like this, I mean this wretched fucking... I don't even know, like, there's no word in the human language that could accurately describe just how horrible this person is. I'm gonna play this clip. This is Candace Owens basically saying, you should not be allowed to have children if you're in, like, a 50-mile radius of a gay person. You're not allowed to have children. I don't even, like, this is some really bizarre, bonkers shit. List of people that need to be sent to an island somewhere. Candace fucking Owens.
Of course, I have been covering the wonderful month of Pride, for which I feel no pride for at all. I think it should be called Shame Month. It's absolute debauchery. But you should know that over $200,000...
First of all, why would you have Pride for Pride Month when you're not gay or trans or whatever? Like, that's like saying, oh, it's Black History Month, and I'm embracing my hair. Like, what? I'm a white person. Like, the Black History, it's not for me, right? Like, oh, it's Juneteenth. Great, let's celebrate and get some Juneteenth ice cream from the nearest Walmart. Like, I'm a white person. This is not, like, everyone has their own holiday, right, for a reason, right? And the same, oh, it's Veterans Day. Great. Like, oh, I'm going to go to that war reenactment and go to the bar and hang out with my war buddies. Oh, wait, I've never been to war. It's not for me. Like, why would you have Pride for Pride Month if you're a fucking cisgender straight person? Bizarre. But again, the only reason she said that is to say that people should be shamed. People should be shamed. For what? Just existing? The answer is yes.
Dollars is being spent on drag queen shows at New York City schools. Why? I don't know. I am not sure why Drag Story Hour...
So first of all, I don't know anything about this story, but schools waste money all the time on stupid fucking bullshit. Like, every economics book that's ever been published for, like, any high school curriculum is going to be filled with misinformation. Disinformation, honestly, because they tell you that, like, free market capitalism, 1, exists, and 2, is, like, the ideal system, which is fake news. But anyway, and $200K is being spent on drag queen shows at NYC schools. How much money is spent on, like, Dr. Seuss Day? Like, I'm just asking. I'm curious. I remember every year in elementary school, we had to do, like, a whole day-long event of Dr. Seuss Day, where, like, they would buy all the Dr. Seuss books and hand them out. Everyone would get, like, a free Dr. Seuss book, and we'd all read Dr. Seuss. How much money was fucking wasted on Dr. Seuss Day every fucking year in my elementary school? I'm curious. Schools waste money on stuff like this all the time. What about assemblies? Where, like, someone comes to the school to, like, tell you about something? Is that a waste of money? I don't know. Maybe it's just promoting new experiences. But anyway, I don't know anything about the story, but I do know that Candace Owens is crazy.
In New York City needed $46,000 injected from city contracts for appearances at public schools and street festivals and libraries. Why did that need to happen? I don't know. Maybe it's because it's very obvious that there is an agenda on our children, and they keep trying to tell you that you're homophobic if you talk about it.
The agenda being put on children is a religious agenda. Do you know how many kids are brainwashed into believing that God is real? Like, think about this. As a kid, right? As a kid, you have to, like, it's the tooth fairy. You put your tooth under the pillow, right? And then one day your parents are like, I have your teeth in a box somewhere in my drawer, and there's no tooth fairy. It's like, oh shit, okay. And then it's like, oh, Easter Bunny, right? They come over and they hide, like, eggs around the house and stuff, and okay, great. And then, like, all of a sudden you find that bag of chocolate in your mom's closet, and it's like, oh shit, the Easter Bunny wasn't real. Santa Claus, woo! You can't be fucking with me now. Santa Claus, you came down the chimney, then you wake up in the middle of the night because you hear Santa Claus, and then, oh wait, that's just, you know, that's just your mom putting the presents under the tree. But then, all of a sudden, God. So, you're telling me Santa Claus, Tooth Fairy, Easter Bunny, they're all fake, but God is real? Like, I'm just saying, like, that's insane. That's insane. So if anyone's going to talk about any sort of grooming of children of any kind, we got to talk about religion. Also, there's a bunch of cases exploding all over the world of Christian churches, Catholic mostly, but a couple of other kinds of churches, that have giant sex trafficking rings for children, where they groom children into thinking, oh, well, God is channeling their energy through this priest or whatever. And so when they like fuck me up the ass when I'm 6 years old, that's great because it's God empowering me with... That's like the shit that they said. Have you read these documents from these religious fucking institutions? And the fucking shit that they do to children? And they brainwash kids into thinking that this is like, oh, everyone does this. It's a rite of passage. Like, oh yeah, no. This is like, it's part of the church. Everyone goes through this. We touch everybody. And that's how we give you the gift of God. If we're going to talk about grooming, we got to talk about God. We got to talk about religion. We got to talk about how poisonous that fucking garbage is. Religion is trash. It's trash. God isn't real. Fuck your stupid fucking religion. And more kids, by not even an order of magnitude, because that is not hyperbolic enough. Literally, probably, just on like, again, there was this report released in France. And I know that there's many other reports, but this one was crazy. Just in France, 300,000 kids were found to be molested. And that was like an undercount. They're still counting in France over the last 30 years or something like that. So how many kids have been groomed to be gay? First of all, 0, because kids cannot be groomed to be gay. You're either gay or not, right? So there's no grooming to be gay. But let's assume, let's how many kids were touched or molested or raped by a gay person in a gay way? Well, guess what? Think about this. Most of them are religious, right? Because religious people tell you that being gay is a sin, right? And so they weaponize, why do you think, again, fathers and preachers love to molest little boys? It's because they're using religion as an excuse to molest people. It has nothing to do with them being gay. It has something to do with them being brainwashed into thinking being gay is evil, so they need to be gay in like some top secret fucking fashion and take advantage of people that don't know any better, right? So again, this idea that gay people are like running amok and like oh shit, outside I just saw a gay person molest a child. Oh, there's another one, the gays, they're running. Like, it's fantasy. They made it up. But like any kernel of truth here that you could find is going to be most spotlighted in religious institutions that these people claim are sacrosanct. Is Candace Owens an atheist? Are any of these fucking far-right Republicans atheists? Some of them are. Some of them will denounce God, and that's a step in the right direction. But they'll just replace their God with some other sort of God, like a corporate God, like Elon Musk or something like that. They all have their own religions, right? But again, the idea of teaching kids about gay people existing, the fact that, that's such a big deal. Meanwhile, by the way, have you ever been to a wedding? I remember when I was 5 years old, I went to a wedding. What the fuck is a wedding, right? It's two people that are having a party saying, we get to fuck now, in the Christian faith anyway. That's a wedding! We get to fuck now! Woo! Why are kids allowed at weddings? I'm just asking.
But it's not homophobia to talk about the fact that they are going after our children. I have said on this show, and I have been mocked for it, that it's very obvious that pedophilia will be around the corner, right?
Okay, so someone learning about gay people in a book. Next step, pedophilia. But again, okay, let's talk about pedophilia. And you can't talk about pedophilia without talking about religion. Christianity, you just can't fucking do it. You just can't talk about pedophilia without talking about religion. But they don't. They want to pretend that pedophilia is only a problem with random gay people in books. And not a problem with religious institutions that have been around for 2,000 fucking years. Andrew Kohler, $5. They tell you you're homophobic. Like rabid National Socialist Paul Ehlers in 1939 whining about how he used to get called a bloody anti-Semite. Yeah.
There's no reason that we should be seeing images of children putting dollar bills in half-naked men that are dressed.
Yet, we're allowed to see children walk down the aisle being a ring bearer at a wedding. That's fine. We're allowed to see children, right? You ever have a nightmare right? And you're like screaming, and then your mom and dad let you sleep in their bed. Never happened to me because, you know, my mom and dad were never together throughout my life. But I've seen this in movies. I've had people tell me that this is a real thing that really exists. Oh, I have a nightmare, so I want to sleep with my parents, and they sleep in the middle of the bed or something. But wait a second. Is that grooming? I mean, like, whoa, the mom and dad are sleeping in the same bed? Is that normal? Do they do that all the time? What do they do in that bed? Is that grooming? Jesus Christ.
Dressed up as women and seeing adults applaud it around as, oh, this is love, love is love, love is love. By the way,
someone being dressed up as a woman, that's bad? That's grooming? What? What about, I don't know, women? Women can't even dress up as women now? Like, what? Like, Candace Owens, you're dressing up as a woman, so what the fuck? What are you talking about?
That is one of the dumbest expressions I've ever heard in my life. Love is love, air is air, water is water. It's stupid. Debauchery is debauchery, and that's what we're looking at right now.
So wait, okay? So love is a bad argument, but her actual argument is debauchery is debauchery? That's her actual argument? Like, oh, how is this debauchery? Oh, it just is. Can you describe the process? No, it's debauchery. It's degeneracy. That's what it is. But can you explain how? No, they're coming for the children. Like, what? Like, she's making fun of her own argument here? It's ridiculous.
Society has become increasingly disgusting. I spoke about this last week. And when you start to see that your government is sponsoring that, when they're putting real dollars behind things like...
Religion in this country is tax exempt. There is a gigantic government subsidy of child rape and child molestation in this country known as tax exemption status for religious institutions. That is a giant subsidy for child molestation. Is Candace Owens going to talk about that? And again, I will never bring up this... I will never talk about this subject without bringing up the fact that since QAnon has gained prominence, right, sex trafficking agencies and law enforcement that actually tries to combat child sex trafficking and all those sorts of crimes, they have been less fucking effective. Look this up. Since QAnon became popular, what is the core tenet of QAnon? The Democrats are all like child rapists or whatever. And so what they do is they flood these hotlines with fake stuff that they read on Facebook about how, like, you know, like, I don't know, Nancy Pelosi's got like 15 kids in her basement or whatever. And they all come up with their own things, and then every like couple minutes there's a new one on Facebook. There's been so many fake reports, and then people saying, oh, there's a gay person on the street, they're a groomer, go get them. There's been so many fake reports that these law enforcement agencies that actually combat sex trafficking have been less effective because they have to investigate all the fake reports. And so that they don't have the resources to investigate the fake reports and just like determine that they're fake and just focus on real ones. They don't know what's real and what's not. They investigate everything. And so as a result, it ends up with the real reports getting drowned out. And so they've actually gotten less convictions over time. And percentage-wise, they've been less effective on combating child sex trafficking. So the net actual real-world result of all of this garbage that Candace Owens is preaching, all of the garbage, the net result is that children are less safe. I need you to understand that. Like, these people lie. They don't give a fuck at all. Because if they did, they wouldn't be talking about, oh, there's a drag queen somewhere in a 75-mile radius. They would be talking about the Catholic fucking Church. That's what they would be talking about. If they actually gave a fuck about child safety, they'd be talking about God and how evil the concept of God is in our fucking culture. That's what they would be talking about, but they're not, because they love God, because they use God. They weaponize God in the same way that the fucking priests who rape little boys do. They weaponize them for power and influence over stupid people so that they can commit as many crimes as they want and make a lot of money off of them.
Drag queen story hour in New York City, you should realize that something nefarious is going on, because the government does not care about your children. No. The government does not love your children. The government is not...
That's true. I agree. The government doesn't give a fuck and never gave a fuck. Again, the giant government-subsidized child molestation industry known as religion in this country should tell you that.
Want your children to be accepted. The government wants your children to be enslaved to government for the rest of their life. And right.
That's true. I agree with this. But that has nothing to do with gay people existing, you stupid fucking... I can't say that word on YouTube. That has nothing to do with gay people existing. That has to do with corporate overlords basically buying our government and forcing us to live under a corporatocracy. That's fascism, which is what she advocates for, right? A collapse of corporate overlords and government. Probably she wants a theocracy. I've heard her talk about how God needs to be in the schools again, right? That is actual enslavement that she advocates for on a daily basis. So she is advocating for a society and then criticizing that society in the abstract when it comes to gay people existing. Gay people existing, all of a sudden, oh shit, we're all slaves. But us only having one phone company that we can choose from, that's fine. Us getting price gouged on our electricity bills, that's fine. Forcing our kids to go to Sunday school in a lot of areas, that's fine. Forcing kids to pledge allegiance to a stupid fucking flag, that's fine. That's not the government overreach. That's not enslaving your children. That's not brainwashing your kids at all. No. That's freedom. That's America, baby. But gay people being allowed to walk around outside in the real world, oh, fuck. Someone call the cops?
Now, as we're seeing, there is a marriage between government and big pharma. It is my belief that that is the push behind this effort to tell children that they can pick their...
And yet, does Candace Owens support a Medicare for All system that would reduce Big Pharma's control of our society? Does she support universal health care? Does she support lowering prescription drug prices? No, she fucking doesn't. Because these people are fucking garbage. If you cared about Big Pharma at all, you should advocate for a universal health care system. That's what you should advocate for. But whenever someone does, she's like, oh, this government overreach, god dang got the boo. So she preaches the society of which Big Pharma can control a lot of our lives. And she says that's a bad thing while advocating for it in the abstract. These people, and again, anyone that listens to this person, like Candace Owens is obviously an actor. She's saying, she's reading lines on a teleprompter. She's garbage, okay? But there's people actually that listen to her. There's people that go like, yeah! And you know what her role is? You know what this fucking stupid bitch's fucking role is in society? Let's be honest. Her role is to make black people more homophobic, transphobic, and right-wing. That's her role. Right? I know a lot of people, right, that don't know who Candace Owens is, right, that hear something that she says and assumes that she's, like, you know, more intelligent than a white person because she's black. And, oh, if she's black, she can't possibly be advocating for white supremacy. I've had this conversation with many people in my family, and it's like, I don't know what to tell you. This is her role in society. Her role is try to make as many people as possible, specifically black people, more homophobic, more transphobic, and more in favor of governments being controlled by corporations. That's her role.
Gender and to confuse them. I believe our government is actually sponsoring...
You know what's confusing children? Telling them that there's a God, but there's no Santa Claus. That's fucking confusing. When I learned that there was no Santa Claus, I just assumed that God wasn't real either. And then my parents were like, oh no, God's real. But here's the thing. Santa Claus is bringing me fucking presents. I can see evidence of Santa Claus. Now, again, I was lied to, but I could at least see evidence of Santa Claus. The Easter Bunny, I could see the chocolate eggs being hidden in the fucking, you know, cupboard or whatever. Tooth Fairy, you know, I pick up the fucking pillow and I see the dollars. I can see evidence of this shit. I never saw evidence of God. So you're telling me the one with no evidence is real, but the ones with evidence are fake? What the fuck?
Mental illness. I've said this over and over again, right? Because people that are mentally ill cannot stand up on their own 2 feet, right? They become codependent with the government.
What about people that are codependent with their stupid fucking religion garbage? Oh, I talk to God every day, and God told me to burn down the abortion clinic. What the fuck?
They turn to the government for their hormone pills. They turn to the government for whatever pills that they can to make it feel better.
I don't like, okay, so Big Pharma's bad, but the government giving you medication you need is also bad? The problem with Big Pharma is price gouging. The problem with Big Pharma is that they prescribe things in some cases that aren't going to solve the problem, but just reduce the symptoms so that you're, that's the problem with Big Pharma. The problem with, like, when, in the few instances where medication works, should we ban chemotherapy because Big Pharma's bad? Like, I don't, what?
Right? And you are seeing right now that adults are getting behind this narrative so that they can have a woke t-shirt on and say, I love my children. I allowed my child to pick their gender and pick their species. And they feel proud of themselves because they can go and they can say this on Facebook that they're a wonderful...
What about the parents that, oh, my kid recited a Bible verse at supper and led our supper in prayer? How is that not grooming? That's fucking weird. Like, they do that so that they can have their woke t-shirt. Like, what the fuck does this mean? People let their kids decide what they are? Oh, my kid decided that they wanted to be an author, and I didn't tell them to go work at Subway? Like, okay, good, that's cool. Like, who cares? Shouldn't kids be allowed to decide their own fucking life choices? Shouldn't a kid be allowed to dictate their entire life? Why would parents have control over kids' entire lives? It's bizarre. It's strange. And again, they never point out the weird-ass fucking grooming shit that happens in every other context. At all. It's just when it comes to gay or trans people, then all of a sudden it's a big deal. There's a gay person 30 miles away, so we need to move. Versus, oh, there's a church down the street, and let's move even closer to the church. Let's buy the house that's right next door. Like, I don't even, like...
Accepting and loving adults, when in reality, they are underqualified to have children. They should have their children taken away from them because it's child abuse. It is child abuse.
So child abuse is not dragging your child to church every day and telling them that if they don't follow a specific set of rules, they'll go to hell and die. Meanwhile, you go to restaurants and eat shellfish and stuff like that all the time, even though that's against the rules in the Bible. Meanwhile, the clothes that you buy for your kid are made of mixed fabrics, which is against the rules in the Bible. So they're already going to hell, but you're telling them they're going to go to hell. Do you know how many fucking kids kill themselves over the concept of hell? A lot. It's actually a pretty big problem, right? So, but that's fine. That's good. In fact, we'll give them even more kids. In fact, we'll take their kids to Sunday school so that the priest can fucking molest them. That's great. Right? But telling your kid that gay people exist, oh, we gotta take them away. Holy shit. You gave your kid a book that mentions that a prince kissed another prince? Oh, fuck. Meanwhile, what about watching Disney films like Snow White or Beauty and the Beast, where there's heterosexual kissing in those movies, and they're rated G for general audience? Isn't that weird? Isn't that strange? Movies that are rated G for general audience, you sit down a kid, you plop in the VHS tape, and you let them watch this fucking, I don't know, this princess and prince kissing each other bullshit. That's fine. That's not grooming. That's pornography. That's pornography. That's kissing. That's adults kissing in a cartoon. That's fucking hentai, bro. I don't know what to fucking tell you. So that's fine. We can let our kids watch Disney films. That's all great. Everything's good about that. Except when there's a gay prince or a gay princess, all of a sudden, nuclear fucking meltdown. Like, these people are fucking really just... Ugh.
To put a half-naked adult in the room with a small child and having them read a book. It's just child abuse. That's what it is. It's child abuse.
What about going to the beach? Is bringing a child to a beach child abuse? I remember going to the beach for the first time, and I was, like, confused. Why is everyone walking around with no clothes on? I lived in New Jersey. I would go to Wildwood. Shout-outs. And, like, the boardwalk's super long. I don't know if you've ever been there. It's a super long boardwalk, but I used to love going up and down the boardwalk, looking at all the arcades. And I would never wear... I didn't like bathing suits. I don't like being naked in general. Sometimes I don't, But anyway, is taking a child to a beach... Is that child abuse? There's half-naked women. They're dressed like women, too. They wear these bikinis. Have you seen them? It's literally just a bra and panties. That's it. That's it. Have you ever taken your kid to the water park? A public pool? Child abuse. Child abuse. Child abuse. Child abuse. That's child abuse. Every time you go to a public pool, that's child abuse. How dare you? Is it child abuse? In middle school gym class, when they force you into a locker room and tell you to take your clothes off and put shorts on, and then after gym class, they force you to become naked and make you shower with other people in the locker room, is that child abuse? Is that child abuse? While the sweaty fucking gym teacher watches you and goes, is that child abuse? I'm sincerely asking you. Because what's the difference? Now, am I saying that it's the most appropriate thing in the world, right? To take your kid to a drag queen show if there's like people getting naked or whatever? I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't care. And also we have to understand that they're misinterpreting and misrepresenting what's going on at these shows entirely. 100%. They're lying about what happens, right? But again, if taking your kid to a drag show is child abuse because someone wearing drag is half naked, then by that logic, taking them to the beach is child abuse as well. But what's the difference? One of them, they're reading a gay book. One of them, they're not. That's the difference. They're building a sandcastle versus reading a book about gay people. And that is what they want to criminalize. They don't want to criminalize nudity, right? Because then they'd have to ban kids from beaches. They don't want to criminalize being half naked because then they have to ban all public pools. They want to criminalize being gay. That's it. That's the only thing. That's it. There's nothing more.
To ask your child to take a dollar bill and put it into the thong of a grown adult. It's child abuse. It's child abuse for teachers to be telling children, knowing fully well that it is a lie, that they can switch their gender biologically.
Fully well that it's a lie. What is that? What? I'm not gonna lie to you. This idea that you can't switch your biological gender, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, you can look up photos of me from 5 years ago if you want, 10 years ago if you want. I'm sure they exist on the internet somewhere. Motherfucker, I am living proof that you can switch your fucking gender, okay? No shit, biologically. What is biology? The study of life, okay? The study of life. That is biology. What is biological? A living being. A living creature that exists. So if you can take hormone medication and it changes your body, what is your body made out of? Biological material. What are hormones? Biological material. If you can change your biological material that constructs your body, you can change your biological gender. What is biology? Again, study of life. Study of life. This idea that, oh, you can't switch your biological gender. It's just made up. They made it up. I did it. I have proof. I'm living proof you can do it. And I'll do it again, motherfucker, just for spite.
Right? But to encourage that behind a parent's back, that's child abuse. So,
what does that mean, encourage that behind a parent's back? What does that mean? Like, who's encouraging 4-year-olds to take titty skittles? Like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, seriously, what?
The question remains is when do parents draw the line and start realizing this? Start realizing that the scholarships and the nice schools are not worth all of this.
The scholarships? Like, what is this world where you get a scholarship for convincing your child to be transgender? What? Like, can you cite any examples? Yeah, there's a scholarship. Any parent that forces their child to start hormone therapy at the age of 6 years old will get a scholarship.
Only the really, I hate to say this, but those with the lowest IQ.
Some dumbass fucking shit. Stupid fucking garbage, dude. Stupid fucking garbage. These people are stupid fucking garbage. And they need to be, list of people that need to be sent to an island somewhere with no supplies. You don't like society, Candace Owens? Get the fuck out. You don't like it? Leave, bitch. Get the fuck out. What a fucking piece of garbage. Hopefully Kamala Harris's task force will help me, because I know when I release the clip for this this video, I guarantee you, scroll down. If you're watching the video version of this, scroll down. I guarantee you're going to see some fucking garbage. Guaranteed. Because that's what it is, being online. You have to deal with daily harassment all the time. Literally. It's incredible to me. There are people, that real people theoretically that exist. I'm sure some of them are bots, but also there are real people that a daily part of their routine, every day, a part of their routine is to call me a tranny online. Every day, a part of their routine is to make some stupid conspiracy up online and harass me for being transgender. That, like, it is an integral part of their daily routine. Like, oh, I'm bored. Like, what's news? Oh, let me go harass the tranny. Okay, tranny, stupid tranny. Like, that's a daily part of the... Think about that. That's insane. That's insane. That's crazy. That's crazy. And those people are fueled by fucking stupid-ass bitches like fucking Candace Owens, right? That's their magnet, right? They get attracted to the stupid fucking dumbassery. And then they're like, oh, it's okay to harass people online because Candace Owens said so. It's insane. Who the fuck is getting a scholarship for being trans? Like, what the fuck? Can I get one? Can I get one? I dropped out of high school. Can I get a scholarship for being fucking trans? God damn, give me a free college education, motherfucker. I'm looking for one. It's insane. Anyway, there you go. So that's the show for today, folks. Reminder, a daily reminder to watch all of my clips that are at least 2 or 3 days old and white knight me in the comments section.